it going? D here, FTO Nerd Talk. Here's a little kick I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to give you guys every breakdown of every not DreamCon, I wish I was a DreamCon, of DragonCon, of every episode I do. But here's the kick to you. I'm doing this while I'm at work right now. So you're going to hear me at work. You may hear some echoes in the background. The quality may come in. And if that does that, I apologize. But I wanted to talk about this stuff because I honestly have close to zero time to do any of this stuff anymore. So, before I go too far into this, I am your host. I am D at FTO Nerd Talk. In today's episode, we're talking about DragonCon, day one. Now, here's the thing about me going to DragonCon. First and foremost, I got like a notification a while back that's like, hey, you got approved for a press pass at DragonCon. First and foremost, that blew my mind. 100% blew my mind. So like, all right, press pass, DragonCon. I can do that. Always wanted to go to DragonCon. Literally always wanted to go. Like that's what I first heard about Yaya Han. That's what I first heard about PewDiePie Sensei. That's what I first heard about like all like the different celebrities who go to conventions. This is like way before SDCC. Way before I heard about San Diego Comic-Con, all that. The Chicago Expo, the NYC, Anime Con, like all that stuff. DragonCon was the first of the first. Always wanted to go. Being from the ATO myself, always wanted to go. Had opportunities to go, but I never took days off work to actually do it. Today, I got the opportunity to actually pop in, try to get my press pass. I knew I wasn't going to do much. It's a Thursday. Like, who does stuff on a Thursday at a convention? No one. You come to the convention, you meet and greet with your friends, you go hang out in a hotel, try to find like a local eatery that's near your hotel room. That's what most people do when you go to the convention. But since I live in the area, it's a whole different bag of worms with that. So, as most of you know, I do rideshare. So that's like one of my main things I do, one of my main gigs, I guess you can call it. And I do that. So I was doing that this AM, and I was just driving around. I thought I can come here earlier on 2 o'clock, which is the time I was supposed to come to get like the stuff from 2 to 9 to get my press pass. I couldn't get it because the traffic was too bad. I couldn't find a parking spot. The parking fees were like $40 to park. I was like, you lost your mind. There's no chance I'm doing any of that. So I had to find like a cheaper parking spot, a little less secure. Well, thankfully is the word to use. There was a cop sitting next to where the parking structure was, so I felt a little bit more secure doing that. But like as we all know, ACAB, man, cops don't care about what your stuff is. So here's the fun story about how I got my press badge for the DragonCon. I parked my car, as we just talked about. I found a parking structure, $20 for the whole day. I'm like, all right, score. I kind of wish I didn't have to go to work. That would have been great if I didn't have to go to work today and do all this. I did. So I walked to the Hyatt residence, I think it's Regency. Yeah, the Hyatt Regency. Walk up to it. 2 women are standing in front. I say, hey, no, I didn't do that. I walk up to the front door. They say, hey, what are you doing? You got a badge? Like, no, I don't have a badge. I'm here to get my badge. Like, well, you want to get your badge? You got to go down to the Sheraton or Marriott. They finally figured out it was the Sheraton I had to go to get my badge. I'm like, okay. All right, like the email told me to go to the Hyatt Regency. I could get my badge here. So I'm thinking to myself, I probably should have said it out loud. I didn't. But I figured like, hey, if I need to get a badge, they see like I'm going inside to get a badge, like they would have said like, hey, wait, are you getting like a media badge? But they would have said something like that. So I let it go. I didn't say anything. I should have said something. That was my first mistake. That was my mistake on my part. So I go to the Sheraton. Go all the way down. Sure enough, crap ton of people, all getting their badges. 2 rooms for people to get badges. I said in one line, get my badge. I say, hey, buddy, I just figured I'd get like a press badge. He looked at me bewildered. I don't know what the hell's going on. Rightfully so. Sends me over to the information desk. Go to the information desk. Hey, guys, I'm just here to get my press badge. Like, I was told to come down here to get my press badge. Like, press badge? We know nothing about a press badge in this area. Of course, in like their most geeky, nerdy fashion, they say these things to me. But they didn't know what it was. They called the Hyatt. They said, like, yeah, the Hyatt says, you're supposed to go there and get it. They said security is supposed to tell people that they need to go there to get their badge down below. That's when I started thinking to myself, this feels like there's just racial bias. This feels like they singled me out as being a black man. They thought I had no worth to me, and that I shouldn't be walking through these doors with all you white people inside of it. Which there was lots of white people, as far as the eye can see. So I definitely started like heavily investing myself into like the DreamCon, EvoCon, BlurCon in the future, because that was an uncomfortable experience for me to be originally biased by two black women, mind you. Just felt a little painful, right in my heart of hearts. So I walked myself back to the Hyatt in a huff, mind you. And I gotta pause for a second. I gotta say, I saw a lot of cool cosplay. I saw some. I saw a lot of Mario. I saw some Sims. I saw a lot of different Teen Titans. There's a lot of different cosplays from a lot of different people. There was also a wrestling event that was happening there, so there was like a long line wrapping literally all around the entire hotel. And the entire hotel is a full block wide. It's like a whole square block is this hotel. It's huge. It's enormous. Like I can't sort of know like how gorgeous it was on the inside. And I only scratched like the surface when I got inside there, which is about to come in the story. So hold with me, bear with me. So I walked back there to the hotel, talked to these two ladies. I said to them, hey, I was told to come here to get my media badge. Now, as most of you know, I try to be as kind as I possibly can, but at this moment, I was a bit in a huff. I didn't say anything disparaging. I did have a tone to my voice. I will not deny that. But I did say to them, hey, I was told to come here to get my media badge. And I was also told that they told security here to also tell people like to get their media badges inside this location. So immediately after I said all that, they started gaslighting me. Oh, well, we're just security. We didn't know like we were supposed to tell people we're not gonna get their media badge. Like we didn't know anything about that. Like, oh, great. That's great. So I just stopped them in their tracks. I said, okay, so can I go in now? Are you coming with me? What's going on? What's happening now? Like, cause I don't want to get into all of this that we're doing right here. So they like, yeah, you can go in. But like, we didn't know anything about anything in any of this. Like, I didn't want to hear any of that. None of it. I didn't want to get into a whole conversation. No shouting match. No, like, you can't come in here. Like, I don't want to ruin like the reputation of this FTO at DragonCon. But you know, I had to make sure they know that I knew what the hell they were doing, and they know. Hopefully, they don't do that crap again. Because honestly, in my eyes, like the only way that you're gonna stop like racial biases is to keep on calling that out. Even if they don't like sometimes realize that they're doing it, they'll think about it in the future. Like, wait, we pissed that one guy off, and he was here for a press badge, and hopefully that won't happen again. That's my hopeful thought that like this won't ever happen again in the future. So I get inside. The story's not over. There's still more to go on with this, and this like I didn't see any celebrities. I didn't get any merch. None of that happened this day. So I go inside. I walk to the information desk, which is surprisingly enough one level down. So I'm walking down the stairs, going to look for the information desk, like so I can go get my badge, because I'm supposed to go to the motel level. I've never been to this hotel before. Why would we go to the Hyatt? I live in Atlanta. I don't need to go to a damn hotel, especially like one of the nicest hotels out here. I'm good, but thank you, but I'm good. So I get there, and they had no idea where this motel level was or where the media press badge was. No, not a clue. Zero clue where any of this was. Which I found highly suspect. Like you're the information desk and you don't know where the media badges are supposed to be got. You serious? That felt real suspect to me. But I immediately found out eventually that it's all the way downstairs, the final floor. So I get down there to the final floor, and I talked to at least 3 or 4 people. Saw like some blood donation down there, all this stuff. Took me a while to find like the room to get my media badge, which is called the green wire room. The labeling there was obscure, to say the least for me. But I found it. I get there, do my paperwork, show my ID, get my badge. This is like what made me upset. It's probably not be a big deal to you guys, but for me, like they didn't have a lanyard to go with my badge. They were all out. I go back upstairs. No lanyards upstairs. No one has a lanyard. So me being like as retentive as I am and annoyed as I was, I walked myself all the way back to the Sheraton, back to the same place I was when I talked to the guy about like right my media back. I saw there was a crap ton of badges just sitting there, of lanyards just sitting there. So I go back to that same desk and grab myself a lanyard. Like, you're probably saying to yourself, like, you walked all the way back after being that angry just to get a lanyard. Like, you bet your ass I did. I'll do it again just to get a lanyard. Like, this is my first DragonCon experience. You bet your bottom dollar I'll walk my ass all the way down there just to grab that lanyard. And again, I do it again. But I do all that, then I walk back to DragonCon. No. Walk around the side for a bit, just to look around, see if I can recognize some faces. I didn't recognize anybody. Like, it would have been nice if I did, but no, I didn't recognize a soul inside there. Some cool cosplay. I saw some of the more lewd cosplay starting to show up towards the nighttime, which was interesting. But after all that, I started driving for a while. It's like, you know what, I need to calm myself down because this DragonCon thing is supposed to be like a fun experience, and again, I'm representing FTO. Like, I gotta feel like kind of put that FTO face on it. I kind of be like the nerd talk guy. Kind of like have like I wouldn't say a smile on my face, because I'm not juking and jiving for no motherfucker. Fuck that. That's the swear of the show right there. That's your curse of the show right there. If I'm not juking and jiving for nobody, it's not happening. But I do all this. I get myself inside the car. There's a guy wearing lederhosen named Sola. He said I could use his name. I told him I want to talk about him in the podcast. He was an interesting sort, a little neurotic, but like interesting guy, very nerdy, very he's very age-centric with his nerdom. Like it was very obvious. Like he was very age-centric. He definitely like his older brothers, how they were all nerds also. They were meeting him at DragonCon. He's the youngest of his crew, and he has a 14-year-older and a 6-year-older. Brother himself, he's like in his mid to early 30s. Like he was very, very age-centric about all his nerdom, because I'm sure that his gap is based on that. But he was an interesting guy, very, very to the point, mildly comical. But like it really changed the demeanor that I was having about this entire endeavor. That was the first day of DragonCon. Like it was rocky. I won't deny it. It was rocky, but like the interaction made it a little bit better. Maybe say to myself, perhaps I'm approaching this entire thing with the wrong type of lens over my eyes. Maybe perhaps I should go about this just a little bit more optimistic and probably less pessimistic, because how do I say this without getting too angry again? This is my first time doing this con. I've done other cons. I've done Atlanta Con, the Momo. I've done a few in like Wisconsin. I've done some in Minnesota. Like I've done a lot of different conventions. This is not my first rodeo, but like this, there's always some kind of racial component when I wrote one of these things. And I think back to people who call me out for like saying stuff that is or isn't too racially motivated about certain things. And I think to myself, like, why would you call me out about something that is or isn't racist, about something that is or isn't racist, when my whole life is people doing stuff that is or isn't racist? It's just, or prejudice or bigoted. Like that's my glove, by the way. If you heard that sound, that's my glove making that sound. That sounds like flashlights. Like that's my whole life, man. And like if you can't like come to grips with like with people being bigoted, prejudiced, or racist towards me, like perhaps like there's no room for me in your life. You feel me? So, that was my day one of DragonCon. But since all that's out of the way, let's talk about some stuff that's been happening inside like the sphere that is nerddom. Of course, the SGA, WGA is still going on right now. So, no talking about TV shows, I'm talking about movies. I know, we're talking about actors. Funny thing, I got a lot of interviews for tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday that involves me talking with actors, and I can't, for the life of me, think about what the hell I'm going to talk about with these individuals. Like, so, what have you been doing with the downtime that is the strike of the writers and the actors? Or, hey, what video games have you been playing of late? Because I can't talk about anything, past, present, or future, when it comes to their acting, so all that's off the table. Let's say, hey, let's do a stage acting right now. I'm going to have some good time trying to figure out what I'm going to bring up and all this. And hey, for again, those of you who know, if you haven't remembered, like I'm already having a difficult time as it is talking about all the stuff that is TV and movie right now, because right now is non-existent. Even the A24 stuff is like, it's interesting, but like I can't just focus on one movie company. What's that gonna do for me? Like, fuck all. That's what it is. That's your second service. It's gonna do absolutely nothing for me. So, in some news that is mostly gaming, the game that is Spider-Man 2 is coming out, and it's a hefty game. Almost 100 gigabytes. 98 gigs. So, if you got like downloadable only PlayStation, buckle up. You got like some space you need to be clearing out, because that's a fatty game. It's like, it's a big one, for sure. So, buckle yourself up for that bad boy. Next up, PlayStation Plus is making people pay $40 a month just to play online and get some possible exclusive games. They got up to $60 and $40 tiers for this also. The $80 tier is a full year. Gotta worry about nothing for the whole year. $80 just to play games online, and maybe some exclusive games that you never played before. If that is not the most ridiculous thing that I have heard of, are you? there is no chance on this green earth that I'm paying $80 just to play games online. Not a chance. Like I know some of you out there are thirsty for your video games, but like I was in the process of getting myself a console finally. Like my family's been AWOL, hanging out in different states without me. I should be bitter. Like they had a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of stuff, family stuff. But they've been out. Like I'm thinking, like, you know what? I should buy myself a console. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have not bought myself a console for a minute, simply because I got addicted last time I had one. I had both 360 and PS3, and they took up a lot of my time. Even though I only play like simple, rudimentary type games like Minecraft and Magic the Gathering, I know, hey, I know what kind of gamer I am. I feel it. But but they took up a lot of my time, because like even before that I was playing games like, you know, God of War. I was playing all like the hit games of, what was it, the 2008, 2010s era. All those games from Redbox to like getting like stuff on like the exclusive list. What is it? Is it Greatest Hits? Yeah, and Platinum, whatever like they're called. Those games. So I really want to get like you know, immersed into that world again, because it is kind of addicting. But with them being gone, I was like, why don't I just get back into it, man? Just get a game console and just dive myself back into it. Hearing that about PlayStation, because that'd be a console I get. I couldn't get faith get myself a PlayStation. Like, why? for the Game Pass? As cool as that sounds, no thank you. No thank you. But yeah, so I talked myself out of that after I heard about $80 for the play online. I'd rather not. So that happened. Any other news out there that I can possibly think of on the top of my head? I'm just going to say it. One Piece came out today. I know. It's there. Live action One Piece. I can't watch it. I don't have Netflix anymore, so I can't watch it. I never watched one episode of One Piece. I know there's over 1,000 episodes. I'm good. I mean, if it's in front of me, probably. But I hear there's fillers too. 1,000 episodes, and I gotta watch fillers? Rather not. I'd rather not. So I'll stick with my Dragon Ball Z Kai. Thank you very much. I'm still on the Cell Saga when it comes to that. Right? Fun. But I haven't been watching any of that because I've been glued to The Simpsons since my family's been gone. I've done that before. It's like a depression coping mechanism. Or watching something that's simple but I don't have to pay attention to, but I can also fall asleep and wake up and then it's the same thing that's on, or my TV goes black. Hey man, for me that's a win-win. You know what I mean? So whatever works for me. What else? What else is out there? I tell myself very often, like, this personality that I put on the podcast for you guys, the same personality I should put in the car. But not everyone finds this personality pleasant. It can be a little off-putting. And also, if I'm talking in the front and people are behind me, I get a lot of, huh? What you say? And I don't feel like hearing that over and over again, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Also, in fun news with my car, my door is broken. So, again, you guys know I do ride share. My door is broken. So people in the back seat gotta get out in a different door. This is like the most mortifying thing I've experienced in a very long time. I don't embarrass easily, but this here is messing with me big time, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. I don't like dealing with the car rental place. I hate dealing with them so much. And the car needs to be serviced too. Jeez. A little stress, not gonna lie. The mental anguish is not as deep as it usually is. I think I got a better hold on it. Is it because I'm getting older? Is it because I constantly talk about it, like with you guys and in my journal? Who knows? Who knows why it's getting better? But it is. But I don't feel as ennui as I were before, but I am still in the motion that is life. But hey, like, that's why it's called that, right? That's why it's called life. So we'll see what happens. I hope this podcast sounds crisp to you guys. I did a test before. It sounded pretty A-okay, but who knows? But yeah, I'm D. This is F2 Nerd Talk. If you're at DragonCon, you know with me, because you may pop up on episode 2. I'm doing these every day. Like, just, it's what it is. I'm doing them every day. Tomorrow's Friday. I got one shop to clean. I'm going to be walking and talking while I'm doing this again. And I hope you guys are having fun with all of it. If you're at DragonCon, have fun. If you're at any other con this weekend, hey, have fun. There you go. See that? Have fun. Be nice to people. That's another thing. Be nice to each other out there. I've been screaming and yelling at all these cars. Been screaming and yelling at people driving like all reckless and crazy. Hey, I got it. Like, we got to see the moon. Was it a Venus? The blue moon? It's messing with your heads. I got it. The moon messes with human beings. I understand that. I don't know why. Is it the rays? Is it too much sunlight at nighttime? Who knows? I don't know, but it gets to us. Chill out. Myself included. I need to chill out. I feel like my family was here, it wouldn't be as bad, but got nobody to bounce these ideas off of. And again, haven't done a podcast in a minute, so you take what you can get. I'm the F2 Nerd Talk. Make sure you check out wherever you find F2 Nerd Talk. I just renewed my URL, right? I know. It's still going to be f2nerdtalk.wordpress.com. But hey, at least the f2nerdtalk.com works. That's all that matters, right? Whatever it redirects you to, that's whatever. Who cares, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Take it easy, guys.
Hey guys, D here of FTL Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTL Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.